It's time for a little on-road action. We don't do this very often, so check this out. The first on-road car we ever got a hold of, my brother's Tamiya. Something. Not even sure what model. Now this is my used and abused E10 drift car. It's rough and dirty, but it adds character. It's been used. And for 50 bucks, this is supposed to be an E10 drift car. What's left of it anyway? I mean, I got this thing and this bitch was seized solid. The differentials wouldn't turn, the center drive shaft wouldn't turn, even the motor was seized. The steering was locked in position. The diffs were open, sort of, but under power only the left side wheels turned. I started tearing it apart to see what was wrong with it. And now the shitty part, basically take everything apart piece by piece and clean it, all of it. So I'll be back.
Well, I've been up and down all around this great big world, and I've had more than my share of beautiful girls. But I guess the time has come, I found the one, and yes, in love this time I fell. And Lord, you know I sin, and you.
So now that I've got everything clean, I'm gonna start putting everything back together. But first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna oil up all the bearings. I've already figured out which ones I need to replace. I'm gonna give them a little bit of oil in each one to keep them fresh and move them free. Hopefully it's gonna free up any kind of friction that's already in them. I didn't want to change all of them because I do have two E10 drift cars and I might need bearings for the other one. That's gonna be a completely different project. I'm also gonna add a bit of grease to a few spots with those bushings just to keep it from getting jammed up with little things, to keep it moving freely. Now you don't want too much because that's gonna create a bit of lag and slow everything down. Now before I get too far on that, another thing I wanna do is I'm gonna add a bit of grease inside these cups. It's gonna help keep it all together a bit better. Putting the front and back together on this thing, pretty simple. All the bearings are the same size and there's not a whole bunch of hardware holding it together, so it's kind of hard to mix everything up. I already put the front differential all together, just finishing off the rear. Then we can work on the drive line, putting some power into it. The center diff, or the spur gear, which is actually one solid piece, has to be put in the same time as the drive shaft. Now the final piece of the puzzle, put the chassis back together, just to put the steering linkage all back in. Now I oiled all the screws because they have little bushings on the end. When you put them down, you want to put them just snug. Not too tight because again, you want it to move free. You don't want any binding. So now that I've got everything locked down, all the important stuff's back in. Just hooked up the steering servo, locked in all the electronics. Next step, because this thing was so seized when I got it, the motor won't even turn. It just lock up and smoke. I'm gonna try to clean the motor. Now I don't know if this is 100% the way to do it, but this is the way I've seen it done. We're gonna see, hopefully it works. Disconnect the power, put the rest of it back together. Finally, we put the motor mount back in. Now that it's basically done, all I'm gonna do is put a set of wheels on it, go for a little test run. It works! There you have it, HPI E10 restored, baby.
soon as the car was ready, painted, tested, it was time to take it out to a racetrack and try it out, see what it could really do. So we took the car down to Kanawaki RC Club to run it in a few VTA races.
So everything was ready and I brought these two cars out to the Kanawaki RC Club to give it a test drive. What better place to try it out and see what happens, right? So we got there and there was only 3 guys running the VTA class. My brother Eldon took the 8.6, put a set of sticky tires on it. What better way to celebrate our first race than by putting numbers on the VTA car? Until next time, thanks for joining us. Sidetrack Garage.